Very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. I'm just sharing my screen, just setting up a live streaming on our YouTube channel as well, quickly, for folks who are joining us on YouTube. Hi, everyone. I see a lot of folks have already joined us. Thank you for joining in early. And let me also just quickly introduce myself. I'm Rasha Khan, and I'm your host for today's webinar. And I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. And we would love to know, before kicking off, this program preview, we would love to know where are you joining us from and your name on the chat here. As this is a global webinar, you'll be seeing a lot of folks joining from different parts of the world, and that makes the session even more interesting. So whether you're an early bird or a night owl, thank you for being here. And yeah, let's kick off this exciting journey together. Just put down in my introduction on the chat here as well. Awesome. Also, please do let us know your name as well, because sometimes it's very hard to make out your names from email IDs, right? And also, it's a good advantage of before starting the session, you get to basically interact with so many folks who are joining us from different countries, right? So yeah, I please do that. And I see introductions have already started coming in. Also, let me quickly check out our YouTube channel as well, as we are streaming live there as well. Folks have joined us live there as well. So awesome. Folks who have joined us on YouTube, you can also let us know your introduction and where are you joining us from on the YouTube live chat box. We also will be paying attention to the YouTube live chat box. So if you have any questions, please put it there. And I'll make sure that it goes to our expert, Basil here. I see on the webinar chat box on Zoom, I see introductions have already started coming in. I see folks have joined us from Boston, Cameroon, Scotland, California, Delhi, and Texas, Jamaica, Singapore, and Chicago. And I see someone has joined us from Abu Dhabi, UAE, and London, Nigeria, Riyadh. And there are some 100 more introductions here. And also on the YouTube live chat box as well, I see someone has joined us from Sikkim and Nigeria, Abdul Karim from Nigeria, Arun from Bangalore, and Sudha also from Bangalore. And I see Abraham Cole from Liberia. So keep the introductions coming in. Once again, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here. And before we start the session, meanwhile, please keep the introductions coming in. Let me just quickly give you a little bit introduction about what we are going to talk about. What are the ground rules here? So this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for almost more than a decade now, and we are very proud that we have transformed lives by empowering people via these digital skills. And the digital skill we are going to talk about today is the generative AI for business transformation by Purdue University. So yeah, and quickly take you through the ground rules here. So these ground rules are designed in a way so you have an amazing experience throughout the webinar and even after the webinar. And in case you have any questions, you can put down your questions in the Q&A box. As you can see, the webinar chat box is completely blowing up with your introductions, and we have very high attendance already. We are just starting the session. So if you put down your questions on the webinar chat box, there's a high possibility we might miss it. And we would love to address all of your queries. So for that, Q&A box is there. You can go and put down your questions in the Q&A box. If you're joined from your laptop, desktop, and you will be able to see it just beside the chat box. If you have joined from your mobile, you will be able to see it on the top. It will be by the name Q&A. Let me know if you find any difficulty here in finding the Q&A box. I will be available on chat talking with you folks, and also, enjoying the session with you folks as well. And the session is being recorded. In case you miss anything, in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, you can expect a follow-up email from us post-webinar over email. And also we have a webinar certificate for attending this webinar. And for that, this session is 60 minutes long. So once the session ends, you will get a pop-up by Zoom which says post webinar survey, and it will ask you for your full name. And yeah, with that full name, we can send you a personalized certificate for attending this webinar, and you will receive it within 24 to 48 hours. For this, you'll have to stay till the end as well to in order to access the post webinar survey. Now, this is how the certificate looks like. Just give you an example. And this is the certificate of participation. Your name will be here. This is for attending today's Unlock Gen AI Skills to Rule the Industry in 2024. You can see the accreditations here as well. And also, you can share the certificate or screen grabs as well. If you like something during the webinar, if you find something new, interesting, if you also have insights about the webinar, what you liked, what you learned, you can share it with your network on LinkedIn and let them know what you're up to, right? It's always good to stay up to date, right? And let them know and connect with new people, with similar minded people. Also, you can tag our Simplilearn handle and also our expert Basil Daklala here as well. I'll share the LinkedIn IDs shortly during the session. And yeah, you can also basically check out what others are posting. I'll share the basically link towards the hashtag what others folks are using, that is hashtag simply grow. This is how the post basically looks like when people are sharing. They are sharing screenshots, they're sharing insights, they're getting a lot of interaction on their post. People are, coming and interacting with them also. Simplilearn will also come and give you a shout out. And you can basically see how certificate is being shared on LinkedIn as well. You can see one of the examples here I've shared here as well. This is how it looks like. People are sharing it. People are using the hashtag SimplyGrow. So I'll share these videos on the mail as well and also towards the end. So please don't worry. In case you missed anything about the ground rules or the certificate or the sharing part in your network, I'll ping about that on the chat during the session and also towards the end as well. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Now, quickly moving on to the agenda of today's session. Wanted to know, my voice is loud and clear for you folks, right? Like just checking the mic 1, 2, 3. So just let me know by replying yes or no in the chat. Okay, awesome. I see someone also saying, can you please repeat? I'll share that in the chat as I mentioned, the ground rules. Please don't worry about that. Yeah, so the first and the most important agenda of today's session is about you, getting to know about you, how we can help you out in your career better. And also we'll be talking about, what is the future of AI and introduction to generative AI to start with. And also we'll be introducing you to the program by Purdue University, which is the generative AI program for business transformation, how this program prepares you and how this program gets you job ready as well. And yeah, we have an interesting session lined up for you, and a lot of things which are covered in the program, the learning part, the tools, and what are the skills covered, what are the career paths, which basically come out of this program. So we'll be talking more about that. And based on the interest you share towards enrollment, we'll be quickly taking you through the enrollment steps, where we'll be sharing with you the program schedule, fee, and the steps to enroll as well. And towards the end, last but not the least, the Q&A part. So in case you have any questions, as I mentioned earlier, you can put down your questions in the Q&A box and let us know. Just make sure to keep the questions related to the program topic here. And yeah, we will try to address it during the session if time allows for the speaker. If not, just have a little patience and we will clear it towards the end. So yeah. Yes, the session is being recorded. I see a few questions about that. And thank you for letting me know the voice is clear. Now, let's quickly start with a quick poll here. As we can see, folks have joined us from different parts of the world. And that makes the session even more interesting, that folks actually join from different set of experiences as well. So let me just quickly launch a quick poll which says how many years of experience do you currently have? And you can select the one option which is the most suitable for you. So I'm just launched the poll on Zoom here. Folks can go on vote on Zoom. And also, folks, I see a lot of introductions coming in on the YouTube live chat box. A lot of folks have joined us there as well. So the certificate of participation for the webinar is only for the folks who have joined us live on Zoom. For that, you have to register for the webinar. And I see, basically, you can also respond on the YouTube live chat box, sharing your, years of experience you currently have. Awesome. I see most of you have already responded for the poll here. So let's give it 5 more seconds. And yeah, then we'll start with the session. So last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. Let's see what have you voted for. I see 43% of you have more than 5 years of experience. Interesting. A lot of experienced folks here. 31% of you are currently studying. 21% of you have 0 to 3 years of experience, and 5% of you have 3 to 5 years of experience. So thank you so much for that. That definitely gives us and our speaker understanding of what kind of audience with an experience has joined us. Yeah. So moving on to the speaker introduction here. Would like to quickly introduce our speaker, Basil Daklala, who has joined us, and he's a data analytics and engineering senior manager. And I'll share his LinkedIn if you want to basically tag him on LinkedIn and share insights or certificate after the webinar. He has been leading 3 teams for marketing and growth analytics, reporting and visualization, and DQA and automation. And he basically has been building advanced analytics applications for internal businesses, users, and healthcare clients. And he has conducted training sessions for 500 plus employees and consultants in the industry. And yeah, he's a Simplilearn trainer for Caltech, UTLS, and Per University programs. So today we'll be covering the Per University program. So welcome so much, Basil. And we would love to know a little bit about you from you as well.
Hi, Rasha. Thank you for the kind introduction. And as you mentioned, I do have a broad experience in terms of analytics in general and data engineering. And that experience spans into producing applications that are useful for building insightful dashboards, as well as deploying machine learning and AI applications that will help leverage predictive capability and provide call to action insights for our end users. And on top of that, I also teach cohorts in Simplilearn for advanced AI and machine learning topics, as well as Python programming in general.
Welcome once again, Basil. Thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, I think folks are pretty eager about the webinar and the topic. So let's quickly start. So let's start with, talking about the future of AI and introduction of generative AI. So starting with what exactly is generative AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think most of you, I'm sure they're aware of the revolution of generative AI, but in really simple terms, generative AI is where you are utilizing artificial intelligence or machine learning to generate new content. And those technologies use advanced techniques like deep learning and machine learning, where you can generate any form of media nowadays. So you can generate audio, text, images, sounds, and even videos. This course is going to cover some of the most important building blocks in generative AI, which rely on 2 main aspects. So you have GANs, which stands for Generative Adversarial Networks, and VAEs, which stands for Variational Autoencoders. And those are basically the building blocks for something that you hear about like ChatGPT or Midjourney for image generation. And basically those are give you or the ability to create entirely new content, okay? And having learning from wide array of data. So think of it as billions of parameters or billions of, when we say parameters here, this is a synonymous term for text. So you have those generative AI systems learning from large amounts of data and trying to comprehend the logic and the nuances and the meaning behind the data, and then putting it together so they can give you a response that is reasonable and useful for you.
That sounds pretty interesting. And also moving on, what exactly is happening in the generative AI in the 24 economy? There's a global demand for the AI talent, and businesses worldwide are increasingly seeking experts in generative AI for innovation and competitive advantage. Just to give you an example of the expanding AI market, The generative AI market is rapidly growing, expected to reach $667.9 billion by 2030, and is reflecting a CAGR of 24.4%. And yeah, there's an investment surge as well. $4.4 trillion is the expected value to be added into generative AI to the global economy annually. So these are one of the sources we have from Fortune's Business Insights and Statista and McKinsey. And also moving on to the impact of generative AI on jobs. I think there is a clear question here: is generative AI is going to take my job away? So to start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what I would say is, and this is something that we're going to be teaching in the course, is you'll get to learn about the levels of AI. We have different levels or tiers of AI depending on the capability and its ability to mimic human intelligence. And we're still at the very early stage, believe it or not, even though that what we are seeing out there is very impressive for AI output, but we're still at the early stage of AI. There's something that we always put, which is more sci-fi like type of AI. We call it super AI. This is where an AI system can mimic human intelligence to a point where it can show feelings, emotions, and whatnot, and also have creativity. Now, keep in mind, with generative AI, it's not building something from scratch. It's learning from the collective efforts and all the knowledge that us humans put together and recorded. So, generative AI hasn't participated in that point yet where it can create or draw a painting from scratch. It's always trying to reiterate components together. But yeah, so back to the main question, all that what I'm trying to say is jobs are not going to be replaced in terms of the tasks if they cover tasks when it comes to creativity, some advanced problem solving. And at this point, we still rely on humans to guard the AI systems and also define certain rules that will help the AI system achieve the desired task. But if you think about it on the bright side, this will open up a lot of opportunities for individuals who are interested in AI and machine learning, where they can play a key role of tuning those AI systems, improving them, and help with the research and development for those AI systems.
Moving on to the next slide, talking about why should we be embracing generative AI and why is it important?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see there's a cluster of benefits that come from deploying generative AI, whether in your personal life or in your day-to-day tasks professionally, or even in companies, right? Overall, we know that it does have the potential to boost efficiency and productivity. So generative AI can automate those complex, mundane tasks or repetitive tasks. They can reduce the manual labor and increase the overall efficiency of systems because us humans, we do have a tendency to make errors because we do get distracted or we try to multitask and so on. So AI systems don't have that. And that is the benefit above us humans, right? And then generative AI can help drive innovation because when you enable new solutions and creative approaches, you can use generative AI to simulate scenarios and also provide ideas, right? And then you could see a lot of companies now are pouring in billions of dollars in AI innovation and research and development. That way they can have competitive advantage, right? So companies leveraging generative AI now have the opportunity to gain a significant competitive edge over other companies that are still using old school techniques, right? And it'll help them improve their decision making and personalize customer experience overall for the companies that have clients with various demands and various portfolios. And last but not least, scalability and adaptability. So generative AI will help companies to go to the next stage. If some companies are experiencing exponential growth, generative AI will definitely help them scale and adapt to different business needs and larger markets overall.
Thank you so much for sharing insights on why embracing AI is important. And let's quickly have a quick poll here. So, you're here because you are interested in the generative AI field, you're curious about it, and we have talked a little bit about generative AI, how exactly it's impacting the market, what exactly is happening, and why you should embrace in AI instead of being scared of it or being in fear of, it's going to take your job away. So let's start with a quick poll. This one is a multiple choice poll, and we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming a generative AI expert. So I've just launched the poll here on Zoom, and this one is a multiple choice poll, so you can select multiple options here because there can be multiple concerns, right? Awesome. I see most of you have already started sharing your responses for the poll here. And also, let me just quickly read out these options for you. Folks who have joined us on YouTube, you can let us know by replying on the chat. As I mentioned that in case you have any concerns or questions, you can let us know in the YouTube live chat box, and we will pick up your questions from there whenever the speaker, gets time. So the first option here is I can't find a program, with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one, I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-code videos. And the fourth one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So I know a lot of amazing questions are coming in on the chat, but please move your questions to the Q&A box. As I mentioned that we have really high attendance and the chat volume is really high. And yeah, for our expert Basil, he will be looking actively into the Q&A box to address your questions. So please move your questions there so we can address them whenever the speaker gets time. Thank you. Yeah, 5 more seconds for the poll here before we end the poll. So what's stopping you from becoming a generative AI expert? And if these options do not cover your concerns or challenges, the Q&A box is open for you. So you can go and put down your questions over there. Yeah. Awesome. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks and our speaker here. So let's see what have you voted for. So I see 48% of votes are for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. 48% are for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. I see these are the two most important concerns. 20% is for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos, and 38% is for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us an understanding and our speaker, how he can tailor his responses during the program preview accordingly. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, quickly moving on to the program preview here. Quickly introducing you to the Purdue University's Generative AI program for business transformation. The program duration for this particular program is of 4 months. And yeah, in this program, we'll be covering what exactly the learning path looks like in detail in the upcoming slides. It has a comprehensive curriculum. And also, they are not just pre-recorded videos, there actually is a live virtual classroom. We will be showcasing you how it looks like as well on the learning environment. Basically, once you take up the program, what exactly happens after that, I will showcase to you live by sharing the learning management system by Simplilearn. And we'll just quickly take you through what all things are there once you take up the program as well. Once we are done with the learning path and the skills and the tools we'll be covering during the program review. We have this in collaboration with AWS. Also, talking about the Purdue University advantage here. So what exactly is the advantage here? So Purdue, as you all know, is a 150-year-old university, and it has been established by a land grant from the state of Indiana. And it has basically evolved into a prestigious institution renowned for its commitment to innovation, research, and education. And yeah, it constantly ranks in one of the top public US universities and has produced Nobel Prize winners. Also, having Purdue University on a CV is a prestigious accomplishment recognized worldwide. So yeah, these are one of the advantages of having a Purdue University on your CV. Also talking about the eligibility and the prerequisites. So I'm pretty sure you're eager to know, how if I'm eligible to take up this program. So just to quickly take you through that. So in order to take up this program, you need to have an eagerness to leverage GenAI to solve real business problems, and you need to have fluency in written and spoken English. and preferably 5+ years of work experience, but it is not compulsory. In case you do not have 5+ years of experience, that is totally okay. But obviously, having a 5+ years of experience definitely acts as an advantage when you take up this program. And also, who is this program ideal for? So maybe Basil, you can share your comment on who basically, will be ideal for taking up this program.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see a list here for a few career segments like business leaders, consultants, and C-suite executives. I think it's very apparent that it is very important for a company to adopt the generative AI tool and functionality. Basically, because if you want to stay competitive, as I mentioned earlier, that would be your competitive edge, is to utilize AI applications, including generative AI, for your advantage so you can excel and move to the next phase in terms of your company's growth. And for that, definitely this course will be suitable for C-suite executives and consultants, especially business leaders that have the capacity to provide direction and responsibility to provide direction for the company and the technology aspect of the company. So those business leaders need to be aware of what's available out there in terms of generative AI, how it can be deployed. And again, it is a very new technology, very new functionality. So this technology keeps evolving and you need to stay up to date with what matters first. And there's so much noise out there, especially with the internet. And, you could find areas where probably certain applications are not useful. So this course is definitely going to help you pinpoint of what is applicable to specific scenarios in your business or specific industry. And entrepreneurs, absolutely, it will be useful for entrepreneurs if they have a new application, new product in mind, and they want to speed up the process of their growth and development. Generative AI will definitely be useful for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think similarly, we got few questions that is this basically for digital marketers also? I think for digital marketing,
Yeah,
digital marketers.
absolutely. So you get to learn about how you could use it for marketing segmentation, rolling out marketing campaigns. So think of this back to the question that we asked at the beginning and answered, will AI replace the careers for marketing specialists, for example? I don't think so at this point, because you are the creative component in this type of task, right? So you start thinking about ideas, what you want to build, and then you can use generative AI to build that stuff for you, right? And automate it and also give you some suggestions. It is up to you to make the final decision and push the button. And let's say back to my example about the campaigns, it's up to you to say, okay, this campaign makes sense. Let's roll it out. And then market segmentation, trying to understand your population, trying to understand the behavior overall. AI definitely helps with that.
I hope that answers your question. I think few folks have asked about the digital marketing question here. Moving on to how this program prepares you. So starting with what are the skills which are covered in the program? As we can see, there are plenty of skills here, but maybe you can shed some light on the most important skills for someone who wants to pursue generative AI as a career.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will highlight the most important ones here. So one of my favorites is data analytics. Being a good data analyst, whether you are a manager, a team lead, being a good data analyst is a very important task, because it will teach you how you could observe the data, look at the underlying patterns in the data, understand what's going on, how to have this investigative feature and start digging deeper into the data so you can understand what's going on with your business, understand an output that is coming from your company. And with that, learning about data modeling and predictive analytics, that's also essential. You've got also explainable AI. So let's say you or your team deployed an AI system and you're trying to advertise for that AI system or product. You need to understand how this AI performs. you'll get some questions asked from your stakeholders or your clients. How did this AI come to a specific conclusion? How did it derive specific results? And explainable AI, it's a little bit tricky, believe it or not, to understand how, depending on the complexity of the AI system, it's sometimes tricky to understand this AI system made a prediction A, to understand why it made that prediction. So explainable AI techniques will help you understand and analyze why it made certain decisions. And then data visualization, that goes hand in hand with what I just mentioned, is that how you can explain the output and how your data is being processed using visuals. Because we always say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, totally agree with that. Thank you so much for covering the skills which are covered in the program. Also, moving on to the tools, right? I think the most important, the most interesting part are the tools, which are covered in the program.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got tools like Julius, you got ChatGPT. You guys are familiar with ChatGPT, Gemini, for example. These tools will help you understand how you could not only just interact with the interface, because we do teach prompt engineering in the course as well. So you can interact with the screen and provide the best prompt. But on top of that, we'll show you how you could connect to ChatGPT or Gemini, whichever API you prefer in generative AI, and you could generate and automate the tasks of sending prompts and getting output from these tools.
Yes, and moving on to how this program exactly builds the learner's generative AI skills step by step.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see the first step here is we want to introduce you to the landscape of prompt engineering, generative AI, and ChatGPT specifically. But we'll start off with AI in general. We want to explain to you how generative AI fits into the holistic theme of AI. So AI, in short, AI is basically the largest umbrella. And then under that, there is the traditional machine learning. And you dig deeper, you've got deep learning. And then the lowest level at the bottom, which is the most specialized sector, is going to be your generative AI, which is the newest aspect or concept in AI and machine learning science. And then after that, we're going to talk about how you could take generative AI and AI in general to next step with working on workflow automation with generative AI, how to automate it, connect to the API and whatnot, and how you could use generative AI for specific tasks. And then we'll talk about generative AI and data analytics, how you could use generative AI to read your data, analyze it, process it, observe for any outliers in your data that could harm the overall definition of your data. It could basically, or it could be even a good task to identify those outliers, because those outliers sometimes, depending on the application, some applications, for example, for bank transaction analysis, you need to detect those outliers because they do present as fraud transactions, for example. And then you can see here, and this also answers some of the questions that were asked earlier. As a marketing specialist, how can I learn from this course? You can see section number 4, it talks about generative AI in sales and marketing. Very exciting topic. And we can see a lot of businesses already using generative AI to roll out their marketing campaigns and craft different marketing brochures or advertisement or flyers.
Yeah, and also there are electives on the program, Generative AI for Executives by AWS, and also academic masterclasses by Purdue University Online. Now, just to quickly cover the Generative AI, which we have in partnership with AWS, for executives by the AWS Advantage. In this, we cover how they introduce you to Generative AI for business and technical decision makers, and also provide you digital training for an overview of Generative AI. And also you get to learn how you can approach to plan a generative AI project and also build a generative AI ready organization as well. So yeah, this is in partnership with AWS. And also, now that we have talked about skills, we have talked about the learning path, we have talked about the tools of ourselves. Let's also talk about what the career opportunities in the generative AI space as well, right? As you can see, there are so many opportunities here, but I'm pretty sure these are also a limited set of opportunities. But maybe you can shed light on the most important opportunities here, maybe category wise.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the revolution of AI and generative AI, you could see there is an explosion of different career opportunities and career specializations. So you see there is AI consultants that help companies embed and enable AI functionality in their workflow or culture. And then you have also AI research scientists. Those are the ones that are on pioneers, right? They're on the cutting edge, coming up with new technologies, new theories that will help improve the performance and the outcome of AI and generative AI. And then you have also data. This is very important concept is the data engineers and data scientists. Those are the ones that are going to help explore what we can do with the data before we deploy any application in AI. So you do something what we call exploratory data analysis. This is where you look into the data, try to figure out if there's any weaknesses that could be fixed using systems that can be deployed by data engineers. So data scientists can help explore those patterns and then can communicate those with data engineers. And in return, the data engineers can build a structure that could be useful to the data scientist workflow. And these two roles will help shape the company's use of data and how they can take advantage of the data. Because without data, AI and generative AI wouldn't exist.
Totally agree with that, and we have gotten plenty of questions here. We'll be addressing them shortly. Please keep the questions coming in the Q&A box. I've tried answering few already, and yeah, let me just quickly take you through the live tour of the learning environment as well. So let me share my screen. Meanwhile, while I'm sharing my screen, I'm pretty sure folks would love to know. I see one conversation going on in the chat as well. So what is the difference between having such, basically, data available online to study, basically pre-recorded videos and all which are already available. Like there's a lot of things which are already available for studying generative AI. But what is the difference between this program where actually instructors come in, there are experts like you who come in and actually, teach them. There's a learning environment which we are going to talk about. So what is the experience they can expect from, when they're joining the program as well? So yeah, if you can help us with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like me to comment on that quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, self-learning is essential, it's very important. But there's one drawback I can think of self-learning is that, yes, it's true there's a lot of resources available out there, but with that, there's so much noise. And that's where working with an expert in the field will help you or guide you through what matters most in terms of AI and generative AI, and also will give you a roadmap of where you can start, how you can learn. Because if you think about it, and all of us have done it before, we're trying to learn about a new topic. Starting from scratch is very difficult. We don't know where to start. And that's where these courses help you establish where you can start and see the roadmap, how you will end up being maybe, for example, a professional in data science or machine learning deployment or data engineering.
Yeah. Thank you so much for answering that. And also, just quickly, I'm showcasing live the learning environment. So this is what happens when you take up the program. This is the learning management system, which is provided by Simplilearn. And this is for the generative AI for business transformation program by Purdue University. You can see here. And you can track your progress here. You can see the certificate will be unlocked. You need to complete at least 65% of the program to unlock the certificate. Also, basically, we have courses here. We already have talked about the learning part of the program. So it starts with an introduction. And as I mentioned that also Basil as well, that, it is not just pre-recorded videos. There is a live classroom, which actually is, going on for the program here. And there are self-learning videos that basically helps you prepare for these live classes as well and helps you clarify a few doubts about that. Let me just open one of the learning paths here. If you basically want to check out the live classroom or the self-learning videos we have here for the program. Let me just open this prompt engineering techniques. Sounds interesting, right? So let me just open it and let's see what exactly it looks like as well. So yeah, so basically, so once it opens, you will be able to see the self-learning section of the basically videos. We are not able to see it right now because there is already an online basically ongoing cohort which is going on, and yeah, it is already filled, and the upcoming cohort which is scheduled, then only the classes will be visible here. So, but I'll just quickly show you. I think you'll be able to see a few of the things here. So for you can see the self-learning section here for prompt engineering. These are the self-learning videos. Let me see if I can quickly play one of the videos here. Okay, yeah, we don't have access for that, no worries. And there is a live basically class experience as well. So I'm just quickly pointing out where you will be able to basically see the upcoming live classes. As this is a global program, it is basically designed in a way that folks from all around the world can basically go and attend the classes, and the classes timing basically will be visible here. And once you basically opt for those classes, you can see what are the classes which are upcoming, and all the classes you have already attended can be basically will be visible here in the past classes sections. So yeah, and there are a lot of materials also available here. There are reference materials, instructor slides, demos, guided practice, and there is an assessment as well for prompt engineering. So you need to complete this assessment in order to basically unlock the certificate as well. So basically these are the conditions. Either you have to attend 80% of more sessions of one live class, or you need for this particular learning path, or you basically need to complete one simulation test for 65% marks. So yeah, this is one of the basically learning path of the program. And similarly, going back to the program once again, similarly, we have electives here as well. But you can see the learning paths here in the program completely, which Parcel has already covered. And these are the electives which are available. We have covered the generative AI for executives by AWS, and the academic master classes as well. Electives again are optional. They come as a part of the program. We don't charge anything extra for that. And then similarly, this is how you basically unlock your certificate for generative AI for business transformation. And there is also a help section available 24/7. So in case you have any questions, you can immediately go and put down your queries here on the chat with Skill Up Guru, and you should be able to basically see those queries here also in case you want to figure out what are the questions usually are being asked. You can see in the FAQ section here. And yeah, usually we should be able to get response in under 2 minutes or so. So, yeah. So this is just to summarize quickly what exactly the learning management system looks like for the program. Now, quickly moving on to the basically trainers and experts who are part of the program here. So we have global leaders as program advisors here. Ankit Virmani, who's a data and ML leader at Google, and Armando Ganino, who's a founder and CEO at Ubuntu Technologies. Raghav Goel, who is a generative AI and data science consultant, and Amitin Srivastav, who is a chief data scientist at Intellica. So again, like these are experienced professionals who basically make sure to keep up the quality of the program as per Purdue standard. And yeah, there are plenty more such expert and basically trainers who are a part of the program. And Basil, as you can see, here one of them who basically covers these categories set of programs with Simplilearn. Quickly moving on to the learner outcomes of the program. So interestingly, the previous classes have consisted of learners, coming from world-class organizations like Netflix, PwC, Bosch, EY, Accenture, Amazon, Nvidia, just to name a few of them. But that does not limit only to these companies here. There are hundreds of companies they come from. And also the diverse industries also they come from, like IT, software product, manufacturing, pharma, healthcare, BFSI, and many others. And this is how the certificate from Purdue University and delivered by Simplilearn. You can see the accreditations here. It will look like for the program. And you can see this is to certify for the name. The name will be here. It has been successfully completed for the generative AI for business transformation. And you can see all the details here. So yeah, this is the basically certificate you'll be getting from the program. I will also share the program page link with you, how exactly it looks like. But before that, let me just quickly also show you the program page quickly on the website, and also share the program page link with you as well. So let me just quickly, so you just have to basically go and check generative. and you will quickly see the first link which you see here is for the generative AI. I'll share the program link on the chat as well in case you want to check out and download the syllabus for yourself here as well. And this is where you can download the syllabus from for more details. So we have covered basically most of the details from the program. Just to give you a quick overview of the program, you can see the certificate which I've shared with you. You can see the learning path here as well. All the learning path details are here. You can go and check out what exactly are covered in the program. Similarly, in the syllabus which you download, you can also check out the details in much more elaborate way there, and you can see the electives here as well. Again, here there is an option to download the syllabus as well. Skills which are covered in the program, we have covered that as well. The tools which are covered in the program as well. You see the program advisors here. You can see the trends, companies hiring. Also, maybe let's quickly go and check. Also, we are talking about numbers, right? Let's quickly also check like what is the demand basically for generative AI in the market here. So I'll just, I know people have joined us from a lot of countries here, but let me just quickly show it for you for the basically US region here. Let me search for Gen AI jobs quickly. Let's see like what is the number here for the US region. Yeah. As of today, there are 5,000 plus jobs available, which are related to generative AI. And I think we have covered a lot of career paths, already. So you can see a project manager, Gen AI. You can see a lot of openings here for Gen AI itself, Gen AI developer, principal product manager for Gen AI. And you can see a lot of companies which are hiring. So this is only for the US region, by the way. Just to give an example of that. Senior product manager, Gen AI support, you can see Gen AI specialist. So yeah, so there are so many, basically openings here in the US region. Let's also quickly check in the India region as well. So I see a lot of folks have joined us from India as well. I'm just searching quickly for Gen AI jobs as of today. So I can see almost 3,000 plus jobs as of today. You can see also they are ranging from different experiences as well. As you can see, different job roles and experiences as well, different companies which are hiring, Seagate, PwC. I think I've already given an example of the companies. You can see that live. The companies are actually hiring here. So I just wanted to quickly show you the real-time data and what exactly is happening in the job section as well. So what are the opportunities which are available? Yeah, moving back to the slide here. So yeah, we have just quickly covered the program review for the generative AI for business transformation program by Purdue University. So we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the Purdue University online generative AI for business transformation program? I'm just launching a quick poll here, and you can share your interest as yes to let us know that you are interested. And based on that, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you. So yeah. After this, I'll quickly share the program fee and the schedule, which is the next latest upcoming cohort. Also, meanwhile, you folks are basically sharing a response. I just also wanted to quickly show you that we have basically limited seats available for the next upcoming cohort. And we do have EMI and installment options also available in case you can't pay it in one go. We do have for those, for different regions, there are different options that we can see here. So this is for basically ROW, and you can see these options are available. You can basically share this with the learning consultants on Simplilearn once they get in touch with you after you share your responses. Yes. Now, this is the upcoming cohort, which is starting on 15th June. And you can see there are only limited seats available. So this is the next recent most upcoming cohort in the next 3 months. So if you're planning to join the program, quickly as soon as possible, so I would suggest that you can opt for the option as yes right now. And yeah, even after this, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will help you out. In case you have any questions about the program, the link I've shared on the chat, you can download the syllabus from that. And yeah, all the questions will be addressed during the, basically the conversation with learning consultant from Simplilearn. Similarly, I see a lot of you have already started basically sharing your responses on the basically poll here on Zoom. A lot of you folks who are basically have joined us on our YouTube channel as well. You can also basically share your interest towards enrollment. You can see a link on the YouTube live chat box, which is on the top by the name Generative AI course. And similarly, the same course link is there. And you can click on that and go and share your few details to share your interest towards enrollment. And also, if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can also go and check out the description of the YouTube basically video, and you will see the link towards enrollment on the top of the description. So yeah, similarly, you can basically share your interest towards enrollment. And similarly, when I share the enrollment steps, you can follow them as well. So, yeah. Awesome. I see most of you have already responded for the poll here. I see a lot of interest coming towards enrollment. That's great. And let's give it like 10-15 seconds more. And we'll be quickly moving on to the Q&A part pretty soon. So this is the really good time in case you have any questions about the program or career in generative AI in general. This is a really good time to go and put down your questions in the Q&A box. Because we'll be addressing it pretty soon here. I see a lot of questions already are there. So this is a really good time to go and put on your questions there. Awesome. Last 10 seconds for the poll. Yeah, Basili, we're addressing questions. So sorry.
No, let me know when you're ready. I can start addressing some of the
No, you can
questions.
address. We can give it some more time for the poll here. I see folks are still responding to the poll here. So we might help them as well.
Okay, perfect. So I do see a few questions here. So how does the AI will put influence in the career field, or I think it's, yeah, Sarth meant career field of digital marketing. I think we talked about that, about rolling out campaigns and automating, building material for advertisement, and also reaching specific segmentation of your audience or client base. And then there's another question about generative AI in the automotive industry. So if you think about it, in the automotive industry, it requires a lot of creativity and prototyping. So generative AI will really help the concept design engineers with building concepts, so drawings and diagrams, and explore these without spending a long time in the drawing those items. I mean, you can draw by hand, obviously, but if you want to do what we call rapid prototyping, generate multiple variations of one idea, generative AI will help with that. And on top of that, it can also analyze any engineering type of data or components and add it to the design. That way, the design makes sense. It's not completely concept or type of sci-fi or out of the ordinary. It'll still be in the norms of engineering and what is possible to be produced by the company. So I can think of a lot of applications there. Very good question. And also, don't forget materials and manufacturing optimization. So generative AI can look into the data of your supply chain management log and can provide recommendations where you can improve your supply chain, where do you have bottlenecks and things like that. So all in all, for automotive industry, I see a big revolution due to the rise of generative AI and AI in general. Sarth is also asking, does this course cover prompt engineering? Yes, so it will give you some advanced techniques. So basic techniques, and then we'll move on to advanced techniques of prompt engineering, how you can use things like variables inside the prompt and use those variables across your prompt questions. So that would be one advanced technique. Sudhir and also Sarth are asking, do we have any case studies, examples of how generative AI and machine learning are being used in the export business or industry? So this is also similar to what I just explained in terms of supply chain optimization. So you have for export, if you're talking about export business, you definitely need a successful supply chain management. So if you are exporting, let's say, materials, you can have manufacturing process optimization before you send it to shipping, right? So you want to make sure that you deliver the product on time. And then also, I think we do have an application for one of our courses is basically the port operations. It's a deep learning applications for port operations prediction, where you can optimize what ships need to enter the port in certain times. And also it uses computer vision, where it can look into images of marine objects on the sea or the ocean, and it can determine if this is the right vehicle to enter the port and so on. So we have plenty of applications that would give you an idea of how you can apply generative AI and machine learning in the export business, in the shipping industry, or supply chain management. Very good question. How are we doing on time, Russia? Can we answer more questions?
Yeah, we have a few minutes left. I would like to end the enrollment poll now. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your interest towards enrollment. So last 5 seconds for the enrollment poll, you can share your responses yes if you would like to enroll. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll now. So sorry, folks. I see still folks are voting for the poll. I'm so sorry. You can still use the link which I've shared and go and share your interest towards enrollment through that link as well. So now quickly moving to the enrollment steps of the program. Though there are 3 simple, easy steps you'll have to follow to enroll into the program. So the step 1 here is this: you can submit an application to us at askus@simplylearn.net. Step 2 here is the application will be going for review. And based on the eligibility and the prerequisites I've shared earlier, in case you want to go through it again, I've shared the link towards the program and where you can also download the syllabus as well. I'm sharing it again on the chat here. Please save it because a lot of you have shared interest towards enrollment. So this link is very helpful for for someone who basically wants to go through the curriculum and the syllabus in much more detail. All the things we have covered, you can download from that link. And yeah, based on that, you will be getting admissions offer from Purdue University and Simplilearn. And next in a cohort which is upcoming, which I mentioned, that the classes will be starting on June 15th, and the introductory classes, the induction will happen on May 31st. Again, this is a limited seat, cohort, which I have already shared with you. You can check it out on the program page as well. So if you basically are planning to join this program within like 2 months or so, so this is the cohort which is available, and we do have limited seats for that. Now talking about the program fee here. I'll be sharing it for the US candidates. The program fee here is 3,350 USD dollars. And for Indian candidates, the program fee here is 1,20,000 INR rupees, including GST and tax. And even after this program, if you want to basically inquire about anything about the program, or you're interested in exploring other programs as well, I'm sharing the email ID where you can reach out to us for program-related queries. That is askus@simplylearn.net. I'm sharing it here in case you need any further assistance. You can reach out to us anytime at askus@simplylearn.net. I've shared that on the chat here. And yeah, like that's just to summarize it. And also I'm aware that a lot of you folks have joined us from different countries. So you can check out the fee on the link which I've shared on the chat, and it will show you the basically payment options available. And also you can basically nudge that to the learning consultants from Sublina as well, once they get in touch with you based on the interest you've shared. Yeah, quickly going to the Q&A. We do have only few minutes left, Basil. I think you have managed to address few queries during the enrollment poll, but I think we can pick up, few questions you feel like, are important,
Yeah.
and we're getting a lot of those questions as well.
Absolutely. So let me look at a few here. How about someone is asking about software developers? Do they need generative AI? That's a very good question. So I would think about this in two folds. The first one is think about productivity. So what you can see now, ChatGPT and other applications, they can generate code for you. I'm not sure if you're familiar also with GitHub Copilot that can also generate code for you. You basically start typing in an idea in the comments section of your editor, your code editor, and it'll start building the application for you. Now, again, there are still some issues with the code that is being generated, but take this as a way to get inspired of what structure you want to use for your code. And then the other part is where you could learn if you are just a new developer learning about new technology or new programming language. So, software engineers, there are ones that have experience in multiple programming languages, and there are ones that have experience with one or two, but want to add on a third or fourth programming language. Generative AI can help you with the training aspect. And then the second part is you can use generative AI if you don't want to rely 100% on the code and the specific syntax, but you can use generative AI to build a layout for you. So you can, if you're familiar with classes in Python or functions, it can basically build the template for you, and then you can add your pieces to it. So think of this as a useful tool that will help you improve your workflow and your efficiency. All right, let's see how we're doing on time. So we've got maybe 2 minutes left. I can answer one more question if that works with you, Rasha.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. How would AI assist in investigation of crimes? I can think of a few things. Basically, I would say looking at data in general. I don't have much experience in crime data. I've never used it before, but I would think governments can look into data of would say census data. So any demographics, any information that will help them understand if there is criminal activity that is increasing over time in a specific neighborhood or an area where they can basically leverage that information to reduce that violence or criminal activity. But I definitely, just for the fact that we know that we record this type of data, I can see an advantage in the future for AI to address that type of issue. And also think about it in terms of like maybe improving educational systems in specific areas, if it's like a rural area or there's not enough funding or support coming to that neighborhood, and that's why the rise in crime is happening. So it's a sensitive subject, but I'm just giving you a high level idea of how governments, if they want to do a good job of organizing and making sure that or reducing crime, that would be a concept.
Yes, thank you so much, Parcel, for addressing, as many quizzes as possible. And thank you so much for, joining us for this interesting program preview for Byped University. Would you like to say something to the folks before we end the session?
No, thank you, everyone. Was really happy to be on this platform and provide my expertise and answer some of the questions. Would love to see all of you join the course because I promise you it will be very beneficial and you'll learn a lot of things from it.
Totally agree with that. Thank you so much. And quickly, just taking you through the webinar certificate. I know a lot of you have been waiting for the poll question, post-webinar survey pop-up. So this is how the certificate will look like. And I've shared with you the link, what exactly others are posting. And you can basically share the certificate and any webinar insights if you want to share, if you enjoyed the session, if you learned something new, you can tag Simplilearn and also our expert, Basil Taklala. I'll share his LinkedIn ID, shortly. And this is how they are sharing it. You can check out the link which I've already shared. You will be able to see how they are sharing it, the certificate, the insights. Yeah, that is just quickly to sum up, and you can use the hashtag SimplyGrow here. So yeah, I'm just quickly stop sharing my screen and share the LinkedIn basically IDs here with you. So you can go and tag us and yeah, share your experience there. Like go and basically share with your network, that you're attending latest webinar on generative AI, and it's always good to find like-minded people, right? So if you go out and share your achievements, that definitely will help you find similar-minded folks here. So I'm just sharing Basil's LinkedIn ID here. You can tag him there. And yeah, like thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you for being an amazing audience. And yeah, we will be seeing you in another webinar, soon. We'll be covering in the upcoming weeks with Basil as well. If you want to join that, you can go and check out the resources page at Simplilearn. You can see the upcoming webinars here. I'm sharing the link for them as well. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Do let us know if you have any feedback in the post-webinar survey as well, along with the certificate, details which you will be providing us. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll be ending the session now. A very good day, good evening, good night, wherever you're joining.